Today I'm trying a recipe for sour cream noodle bake from Ohio Edison's Christmas Idea book. If you'd like to try this recipe for yourself, it's written in the description underneath this video. And if you'd like to go straight to the cooking portion, you can skip ahead to this timestamp. We gotta talk about this cover. Look at this beauty. Cover, the back cover, it's colorful. It's a little psychedelic maybe even. The designs on these bells. I couldn't find an exact date on this cookbook, but a few things lead me to believe that it is from the late 1960s. I mean, one being just the design, the colors, some of the illustrations, and what the people are wearing, the hairstyles. But then also there are a few instances in this book that mention microwave cooking. And I think that microwaves weren't starting to gain popularity and be more common in homes until the late 60s, maybe the early 70s. This appeared in one of my recent cookbook hauls, maybe from a month or two ago. It is a cookbook, but it is an idea book. So in addition to recipes, it also has decorating ideas, wrapping ideas, safety tips. Of course, safety tips, it's from the electric company. But in the back, we have some decorating things to do, like these heavenly candles. The illustrations are just a little bit hard to see because they're very small and they're black and white. We've got a yum yum tree. I think it's like a styrofoam cone that you spray paint green and then you stick like gumdrops and marshmallows on it. I don't know if you're supposed to eat those. Nope, it says note at the bottom. Tree is not edible, so do not eat this yum yum tree. You'll have a very bad Christmas if you do. I think I pointed this out in my haul video, but it has this lovely planning calendar in it, and it's basically like, here's what you should do on which day. And I did try to use this calendar a little bit to pinpoint an exact year, and I just couldn't do it. So here, if you want to take a look for yourself, maybe, pause it here. If you can figure out what year this is from, I would just really appreciate it. But according to this calendar, what I should be doing today is working on handmade gifts. That's not what I'm doing today. Sorry friends and family. You're not gonna get handmade gifts this year. But it's got everything. When to complete your food preparation for both Thanksgiving and Christmas, send long distance mail by December 4th, plan your holiday outfits by December 6th. It says buy tree and decorate house on December 11th. Now, I think that is a little too late. I know people don't love the trend nowadays of having Christmas come too early and have people start decorating in the middle of November or whenever they do. I think you should do whatever makes you happy. Me personally, I think December 11th, it's just a little too late for me because I want to enjoy my Christmas decorations for as long as possible. And it feels like right after the new year, within a few days, a lot of those decorations come down. So that's just, that's not even a month really that you're giving yourself all of that Christmas twinkle and joy. So as I mentioned, this book is from Ohio Edison, which is like an electric company here in Ohio. Because it's from an electric company, so many of the recipes, when they mention the cooking process, say broil in an electric oven or whatever, and it's like electric in all caps. Bake in a preheated electric oven. I don't have an electric oven, so today's recipe will be cooked in a gas oven, and that will probably not affect the taste or how it comes out or anything like that. They had to sell their product, I get it. Marketing. So the cover in the back, very colorful, but a lot of the illustrations focus on red, mostly red and black. There's a little header at the beginning of each chapter that's kind of a red and black themed illustration that reflects what's to come. So this is the vegetable chapter. It looks like we've got some very abstract looking carrots and potatoes. Breads, there's some drawings of very interesting looking breads. In the margins, there are little kind of sketches here and there in red. Oh, so I did show a few of the decorating and craft ideas in this book. And I said the photos are a little hard to see because they're in black and white, but it does look like we have some of the photos in the inside, back and front covers. Oh, here's the yum yum tree right there. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. It is not edible. Then we've got this rack. I think you can kind of recognize this is one of those accordion racks, and it looks like they've just kind of wrapped it in some greenery, maybe some fake garland. I love these candles so much. They really remind me of the colors of the bells on the front cover and back cover. So flipping through some of the recipes in this book, it's got a little bit of everything from appetizers to main dishes to desserts. I liked this one called Nutty Dates. feel like anybody in the dating scene nowadays, which thankfully I avoided, they're gonna say that they had some pretty nutty dates. I'm so sorry for that one. Actually, nutty dates are peanut butter, honey, pitted dates, and confectioner's sugar. Oh, so you fill the dates with this peanut butter mixture and then you roll all of it in powdered sugar. That sounds kind of interesting, and I do have all of these ingredients. Maybe I'll scale it down and make a batch of these and see how they are. Here's a little section on holiday safety as well as preserving your Christmas trees. There's this thing at the bottom that says a tip for indoor lighting, and with some like illustrations I don't understand. Like that one thing looks like a toaster. I have to read this and see what they're talking about. You can make your own indoor light sets using number 18 rubber or plastic lamp cord, pin type sockets, and quick clamp plugs. None of these words mean much of anything to me. These items are available at most hardware and variety stores. Just split the wire in places where you want to screw on the light sockets. The plug clamps on the end of the cord quickly. I think this sounds incredibly dangerous considering it's in the holiday safety section. That's not something I'm gonna try. Lights are so incredibly available nowadays that I just don't think I have to do this. Oh no, what a recipe for disaster that would be. Did anybody make their own like indoor lighting back in the day? Like, please tell me your stories. So the recipe I'm trying today is sour cream noodle bake. If you're anything like me, I suspect you probably still have a few Thanksgiving leftovers hanging around your fridge. This recipe is basically, it's a casserole. It's a little bit different. There's no cream soup in it. The cream sauce comes from a mixture of tomato sauce and sour cream, but you can incorporate any of your leftover holiday meats into this, which is cool, I think. So I'm gonna be using turkey because it was Thanksgiving just a few days ago. You can also use ham, you can use beef, or you don't have to use meat at all. So you could make this vegetarian or like a side dish if you wanted to. Doesn't take very long at all. It's just kind of like cooking noodles, mix things together and bake it. In an electric oven, as I said, I'm gonna be using a gas oven. I love to repurpose a leftover and I hate to waste food, so I think this recipe is going to be a good one. I started with my noodles, placed a couple of quarts of water in a pan with about a tablespoon of salt and bring that to a boil. And once your water's boiling, add 8 ounces of medium egg noodles. And this is important, you're only going to cook these for 5 minutes. I think the idea is that this is kind of a saucier recipe, so you only partially cook the noodles and then they'll absorb some of the sauce as you bake it. So once you're done cooking your noodles, just go ahead and drain them and put them in a mixing bowl. This recipe is speedy. It just goes pretty quickly from there. Combine all ingredients except cheese. So let's combine all those ingredients. 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, teeny tiny tomato sauce. I'm sure you could probably use, like, if you have leftover spaghetti sauce or something, like, you could probably use that too. I get the feeling that this is a pretty forgiving recipe. 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt, so that all goes in together. 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. I'm not gonna measure, we're just gonna eyeball. So far, this recipe actually has some seasoning in it, and it said to salt the water when you're boiling the noodles, which I almost never see in vintage cookbooks. 1/2 cup of thinly sliced green onions. I'm just gonna pick these up and use them. I can't believe I just did that. Yep. It says 1 cup of diced cooked ham, turkey, or beef. I'm doing this to use up some leftover turkey. This turkey came from when I was making stock, so this is just what came off the bones. It's not even part of our Thanksgiving turkey, so, you know, waste not, whatnot. I'm gonna put it in my casserole. 1 pint of sour cream. I accidentally bought light sour cream. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. Actually, before I put my sour cream in, I'm gonna mix it just a little bit, get kind of a head start on that part. I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but you know how I am with my cute mixing bowls. I gotta have them. And I don't have many that are much bigger than this one. And I'm just gonna give that a good mix until it's all incorporated. I love pretty much anything noodle based, and I really like casseroles too, so I think I'm gonna love this. Yeah, use a bigger bowl than I did. It'll be a little bit easier if you do. Ooh, almost lost some. I think that's pretty good, and there we are. This goes into a 2-quart casserole dish. I've got a butterfly gold dish that is 1.5 quarts, so fingers crossed that this works out. I just really wanted to use this casserole dish. This seems to be a theme with me. I want to use cooking vessels that are too small just because they are cute and vintage. So let's try to get this all in here. I went ahead and buttered my casserole dish before doing this. So yeah, it just says a greased casserole dish. Go ahead and slap a little butter on there. Oh, it fits. Okay, I'm pleased. It's fine. It's kind of got a very pinky blush color a little bit. And I'm guessing that this cheese goes on top. I'm correct. So this is 1 cup of just shredded cheddar cheese. And it actually says cheddar. It doesn't say processed, which is kind of revolutionary for this time. Yes, that's a casserole. That is what we're dealing with. I'm gonna bake this in my gas oven for 25 minutes at 350. There it is. Still pretty hot from the oven. I let it cool for a few minutes because it was very bubbly. Smells really good. I think it's hard to go wrong with a combination of tomato and cheese. Sounds good to me, looks good to me. I am ready to try this. So let's scoop in there and get some. Still that lovely, kind of like a blush color to it. Oh, that smells really good. And it's pretty tasty. With that combo of ingredients, I think it's hard for it not to be tasty. I'm not getting a lot of the tomato, admittedly. There is what feels like a ton of sour cream versus the tomato sauce. I could go for a little bit more tomato in this. I had this thought, maybe swap out like half of the sour cream for cottage cheese. I think that could be really good. It's seasoned pretty well with the salt, garlic, salt, pepper, and then those green onions. I think it tastes really good. I think this would make a great side dish if you leave the meat out, but you could also add some veggies to this if you want to make it like a little bit of a more robust main dish. But again, I pretty much love anything with noodles in it. A+ on that. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who watches my videos week after week. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos about food, vintage cookbooks, and retro recipes every week. Thanks again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.